Hello everyone. My name is Jaishal Sood. I am joined with my colleagues Simriti Sharma and Vibha Bhatt. The topic of our presentation is data cleaning and visualization with Tableau and Python. Today we will give a snapshot of the two softwares. We will also talk about how to clean data in Tableau and Python. We will juxtapose and compare the two. Last but not the least, we will share with you certifications that can add value to your work profile. This one is just for fun. I must admit that data cleaning is not the most fun job. However, I will not compare it with punishment. So what is data cleaning? Data cleaning, as the name is self-explanatory, it is the process where we identify corrupt or incorrect entries and we replace, modify, or delete these entries for final analysis. Data visualization. I don't think that we have to go through a dancing process in a board meeting to explain what our data is conveying. So the data visualization is the process where we use images to explain data. It is a common knowledge that images convey the message faster than text. So data visualization, especially for research analysts or data scientists or anyone who is dealing with data or big data, is an indispensable tool which should be in your profile. Tableau is a very familiar name for anyone in research or anyone dealing with data. It is a data visualization software which is interactive. It is popular among students and professionals alike. It has both paid and unpaid versions, so accessibility is easy. It was founded in 2003 and in the US, and it is recently acquired by Salesforce. The year was 2019. It is the fastest growing data visualization tool along with Power BI. Its main skill is that it can import data from different formats, and it is quite easy to make visualizations through Tableau. Introduction to Python. I'll go through the official definition of the software that is on the Python website. Python is an interpreted, object-oriented, high-level programming language with dynamic semantics. Its high-level built-in data structures combined with dynamic typing, dynamic binding make it very attractive for rapid application development, as well as for use as a script or glue language to connect existing components together. So in plain language, Python actually transformed the landscape of programming languages. My understanding is that Python was one of the first programming languages that even the non-coders could utilize because it used simple English rather than too many codes to write a programming message. Now my colleague Smriti will elaborate on data cleaning and visualization in the two software. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaishal, for the introduction. Now I will talk about data cleaning in Python. Python offers different ways to clean data. A user can either do it directly in Python and can use various kinds of libraries like NumPy, SciPy, and even Pandas. And this also can be done through Anaconda Navigator, where more tools like Spider can be used. Now I will talk about data visualization by Python. Python, as I told earlier, it has multiple graphic libraries which help us in data visualization, which can include like Matplotlib or Pandas visualization. It can be Seaborn, ggplot, as well as Plotly. And I'll talk about each one of them in little bit more detail. Starting with Matplotlib, I would say it's the most popular out of all these, and it's good for creating graphs like line charts, bar charts, histogram, as well as scatter plot. Coming about pandas visualization, I would say it's more easier to create plots in this, and it provides a better data frame as well as data analysis tool. And again, this chart is also useful in creating various histograms, scatter plot, as well as line chart. Coming to Seaborn, it's actually based on Matplotlib, and it is useful in creating attractive graphs which can be created by a high-level interface of Seaborn. It can be used to create box plots, heat map, as well as ggplot, and it requires minimal coding, and it can be useful in plotting quickly. Talking about Plotly, Plotly can be used to create basic charts as well as statistical charts, also in financial charts, scientific charts. It can be useful in various kinds of 3D charts, subplots, as well as animations. Now I would talk a little bit about data cleaning in Tableau. So basically in Tableau, we can organize the data by putting variables into the columns and data points in the rows. And in this, we have to make sure that all column headers are in the first row so that we can import the data file and drag it to the drag sheets here window, which is mentioned over there. And then we can review the data through data interpreter. And for that, we have to make sure that in the end, it's always useful to make sure that we save our data and we are all set to play with the graphics. Since we are talking about data visualization and cleaning in both, so I would say that in Tableau, it offers a wide range of tools for visualization, like how we talked about in Python, as it includes its various libraries. So even in Tableau, it includes like various range of tools like Gantt charts, packed bubbles, area charts, tree maps, stack bars, and even maps. And depending on the data, the software filters all possibilities for a visualization. Now my friend Vibha will talk more about these two tools and various resources which are available online which can be useful for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Smriti, for the introduction. Now I'll be talking and comparing Python and Tableau. Python, like we all know, is a free software, while Tableau has paid and unpaid versions both. Python is a programming level language, which is high level, but the syntax is simple English and easy to learn. While Tableau is a data visualization tool, which requires no previous experience in coding or programming. Libraries are useful for data handling and visualization in Python, while Tableau uses the drag and drop feature. Python is the most suitable language for machine learning, while you can integrate both of them, that is Tableau and Python, about which I'll talk more in the next slide. TabPy uses Python code and displays results in Tableau. So what happens is you can tune the parameters in and perform calculations in Python, and the impact can be analyzed in visualizations on dashboards in real time. It is useful when you are using multiple level of aggregation or when you have a lot of backend calculations from various data sources. The advantages is that it is obviously very cost effective, as there is high reusability of whatever is produced by data scientists, where they only prepare the dashboard draft and perform the backend calculations in Python. This can be reused. So when would we use or avoid Tableau? So you would use Tableau if you have geospatial data, and as it handles shapefiles easily. Shapefiles are used for storing geometric locations and attribute information of geographic features. And I would say you should avoid using Tableau when you have nested data types or when you need a free software, as also Tableau is something which cannot connect natively to XML files. Now coming to when to use or avoid Python, I think Python could be used when you have obscure data and you wanted to use a package, and you could actually stream it with real-time data. Avoiding Python would be when you want quick visualizations or out-of-the-box data visualization. So here are some popular free resources for learning Tableau and also some places where you can get free sources for data sets to practice Tableau. Free resources for Python. These are a few resources which are free, which you can use to up your coding skills. I think the most popular ones are DataCamp, Udacity, Udemy. Now coming to the paid resources, I think for Tableau, the most popular paid resource would obviously be the Tableau website. While for Python, there are a lot of courses on Udemy, DataCamp, LinkedIn Learning, and PyCharm. So coming to certifications which can help you up your resume, they are for Tableau. I would suggest you actually go to Tableau's website and you could do the desktop specialist, desktop certified associate or desktop certified professional certificates. The specialist one is valid for lifetime while the other two are valid for 2 years and 3 years. For learning Python, there are various paid certificates. Popular ones would be something from University of Michigan, which has uh, certificates for basic users and for intermediate users. And then there is this 2020 Complete Python Bootcamp from Zero to Hero by Udemy, which is really popular. You could also try learning Python certificate for data science by IBM, as this is a really popular certificate. So guys, thank you everyone for listening patiently to our presentation, and I hope you found it useful.